Chapter 2 of The Guggenheim Mystery, Figures of Speech. Dad calls Aunt Gloria Hurricane Gloria. This is a good name for her. She leaves a trail of destruction in her wake, Dad's words. In fact, Aunt Gloria does not physically destroy things. She's just quite noisy and chaotic. Dad's name for her is an example of a figure of speech. Dad's been teaching me about figures of speech, which are words or phrases that sound like they mean one thing, but really they mean another. One example is, it's raining cats and dogs. This doesn't mean that kittens and puppies are actually falling from the sky. It means it's raining hard. I'm making progress with figures of speech, but I still get confused very easily. I knew we were going to see Aunt Gloria and Slim in New York before I was meant to. On the 26th of July, when I should have been asleep, I eavesdropped, which doesn't mean I dropped anything. It means I listened carefully outside on the living room door when I wasn't supposed to. On a conversation between Mum and Dad. Mum and Aunt Gloria had just had a phone call, and Mum was telling Dad about it. Mum said that Aunt Gloria wanted us all to come to New York and visit her and Slim in New York. I think she's missing me, said Mum. The new job's going well so far, but you know how hard it was for her to get there. I did know, because New York is roughly 3,459 miles away and 1 7-hour and 50-minute flight from London. And Slim seems to be fitting in. It's a marvel, isn't it? But I think it'd be nice for him to see his cousins. What do you think, love? Dad said he thought like it sounded like a lot of money, and Mum might take me and Kat, but she couldn't count on him coming too, because someone had to hold down a job and earn the money for the mortgage and the school uniforms and Ted's appointments. I felt the air pressure drop and a cold front sweep into the living room. This is a metaphor, another thing I'm learning about. The temperature on our home thermostat by the stairs was 17 degrees Celsius, and it didn't change. Don't be like that, love, said Mum after a pause. Glow and Slim are family. We have to stick together, especially after what happened in the spring. Just think of it. The children will love it. It'll be a holiday for them. And it might be good for Kat. Dad sighed. It might, he said, and Ted as well. He needs to start learning how to cope with the rest of the world. The air in the living room metaphorically warmed, but an icy pocket formed around me as I sat on the stairs. I did not like hearing Dad say that. I was happy in London. I knew its geography and its weather. I knew the tube. I was not sure I wanted to travel to another country. Last time at school, I'd learnt about some journeys that made travelling sound dangerous and bad. When Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492, he did it by mistake while he was looking for India. That journey took him a whole 8 weeks. This is actually not much time at all compared to how long it took Odysseus, the legendary Greek hero, to cross the Mediterranean in the Odyssey. 10 years. Both these journeys reminded me how big and confusing the world can be and how it's possible to get lost in it. What if I get lost in New York? What if I never came home? Chapter 3. The Home Front. To calm myself down, I decided to look up the Guggenheim Museum where Aunt Gloria worked in my encyclopedia. What I discovered made me feel a bit happier. The Guggenheim is an important New York landmark, just like the Statue of Liberty. Museum is not an entirely accurate word to describe it. My favourite museum in London, the British Museum, is big and hundreds of years old and full of statues and jewels and pots. I like to go there and think about patterns in history. But the Guggenheim is not like that. It was opened in 1959, so it's much newer than the British Museum. It also doesn't have any jewels or pots. It's a museum that mostly just holds paintings. It's a very unusual museum, just like I am a very unusual person. Do you think he's an unusual person? What clues or what evidence are there so far in the story that suggest that the main character Ted might be an unusual person? And what do you think's unusual about him?